I still haven't updated. It's 41 this time, Marvin. But it says 40 on there. I'm a naughty boy. At least I got up this morning.
Straight into it.
Oh, fucking hell, man. I know, says Connor. Let's have a little team meeting because I miss you, buddy. Every morning, 9:45, you and me, we'll have a chat for 15 minutes before we start the ops call and Holly goes there. Oh, great, says I. Let's do that. So there was me this morning. Drumming fingers, waiting, and Holly joined at 10, and we waited some more. And then about 11 o'clock, Connor goes, oh, no, I fell asleep. I couldn't get up. It's like, Connor, let's smash this biz. Also, Connor. What have you got to say for yourself, young man? What?
You love a meme, don't you? You've just pictured that in your head as like two different fucking squares as a meme, haven't you?
Seriously?
I don't need to explain myself.
Yes, you bloody well do.
I fucking don't.
Seriously?
I've said my apologies. Well, if I give the reason,
apologies.
One, it's excuses.
Get an egg. Hang on a minute. Fuck your apologies. Get an egg. Drop it on the floor. It smashes. You say, sorry, Mr. Egg, you're broken. What's happened? Nothing. The egg is still broken. I am heartbroken.
Yeah. Well, I apologise, John.
You broke the fucking eggs of my heart, mate.
But the thing is, I'm especially proud of you for, having the resilience of turning up and waiting for me, and I really appreciate that. You're a star in my eyes.
Don't fucking try and soft soap me.
No, honestly, mate, I'm proud of you.
No, yeah, now you're just fucking being condescending.
No, I'm not. I know
an autistic boy. He waited like a good boy.
No, I've got my shortcomings, but I know you have it especially hard. But to watch you, turn up so positively every day, it's heartbreaking for me to let you down like that. And I assure you, I'll be better just for you, mate, because you make me want to be better. Honestly, proud of you.
You know what I find really quite shocking? What I quite find shocking. Not that you're saying this bullshit, because I know you don't mean it, but that people on LinkedIn actually come out with this kind of shit and mean it.
Oh God, it's awful.
They play, and other people lap it up like fucking warm sick. This is being recorded on Tuesday, the day after International fucking Make Your Own Sandwich Day. Right? How nauseating was your LinkedIn feed yesterday, Con? On a scale of 1 to 10, did you look at it yesterday?
I purposely didn't go on it.
No? Well, I did.
I just closed my eyes, tried to find the messaging and clicked it and replied to a few messages. But apart from that, I did not want to look at my newsfeed because I just know I just give up hope. I just give up hope.
I was on my feed a couple of times, and I fucking kid you not, right? It was nauseating. There's all these fucking men. Well, they pretend they're men. I suspect they're just fucking little cooks. All these fucking blokes posting pastel-coloured memes. Things like fucking loads of hearts.
Pastel-coloured?
Yeah, pastel-coloured, things like, love, support, strength, all that kind of thing. Saying about these women in their lives. And some of them were saying, oh, my wife. You can bet your life that these women, they're being banged fucking senseless by the bodybuilder down the road, and their husbands fucking going to work, paying all the bills and to support the fucking children and their lifestyle. Yeah. And post all this shit on LinkedIn. They fucking beg every weekend for sex. I bet I never fucking get it. And all the missus wants the damn good Rogering from some real fucking man, not some pansy ass fucking prick who says things like, oh, I love and support you because you're such a fun woman. Why don't people fucking celebrate, worship, and adore women every day of the fucking year? Why does it take some special fucking arbitrary day for some cunt to come and go, oh, let me put up a pastel-coloured meme for my wife? Fucking pathetic. If I did that for Mrs. EBG, she'd fucking slap me with a kipper. She'd wonder what the fuck had gone wrong, honestly. It's embarrassing. And it's not just men who think that. There was a few women who said the same thing to me in messages and things. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. These men do not realise how fucking embarrassing they are for themselves.
it really feels like when white people try and legislate for black people and NTs try and look after your
Yeah.
spastic kind and whatnot. It's just like, hang on a minute. Gee, has no one
And,
actually asked the recipient of this help, he says, with quotations, about how they feel about this? Because I'm sure women would much rather there not be an International Women's Day and just be treated with respect a little bit more often.
every day. Maybe some would, maybe some wouldn't. But the thing is, here's the really important thing, I reckon. It's not my cause. It never will be. And you can say, oh, that's because of your white male privilege. And that may well be true. But in the same way as, equality for women and women's rights and transgender rights, all those other things are not my business and my cause. The autism awareness isn't their cause. And I don't expect them to be fucking falling over themselves either. I've got my own lane to stay in. And I do not subscribe to the intersectionality thing either. I just don't. Because as we've said before, there's no such thing as causes. It's just a bunch of individuals who sometimes share a vaguely similar fucking outcome they want. And when they get that outcome, then what? Well, that's why revolutions always fall apart and become the thing they were actually rebelling against and revolting against in the first place.
But people act emotionally and they never stop to slow down and have a look at things rationally. Talking of women, I know I know your feelings on the royal family and whatnot already. But have you seen what's been going on with that?
Kind of. I've seen it discussed by a few people, and I genuinely haven't seen this. I haven't read a single news report about it. But piecing the things together, I seem to infer Meghan, whatever her name is, has gone on Oprah Winfrey and said disparaging things about the royal family and their racism, which has kind of caused a clusterfuck for some people, something like that.
I also have not been that interested at it. However, I have enjoyed logging onto Twitter with a bowl of popcorn and just chuckling to myself, watching these fucking white gammon racists lose their mind. That a lady who has slightly darker or more melatonin, whatever it is, has said bad things about
a bunch of fucking parasites, a bunch of fucking inbred parasites. Please,
it's hilarious, and the fact that people care more about what's being said rather than getting to the bottom of these accusations just speaks volumes. And people saying, Meghan's got to watch her back because she's stolen our prince and taken him to America.
She's fucking welcome to him. He's not a prince anyway. He's the bastard son of that fucking ginger bloke.
He's a man of his own fucking right anyway. He can do what he likes. And it's baffling. It is utterly baffling. And I love the fact that this fell around the time as National Women's Day, because the amount of shit she's getting just for being a fucking black woman is astonishing.
I can't even tell you. Is she black or is she just mixed race or just dark skin? I don't know. I don't give a shit either. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't care anything about her. I'm completely indifferent to all of them.
They live their lives. As long as they're happy, leave them to it. I think
the whole institution of the royal family, I'm dead against it because they're paid for by the fucking taxpayer.
The only argument against it, though. The only argument against that, Jono, is apparently they essentially pay for themselves with the tourism money. But
okay, let's start a paedophile fucking child sex empire, because that would pay for itself too. But it would. The fact something pays for itself does not legitimize it morally. The whole idea, if you've got this fucking family who just by the virtue of birth is elevated above the rest of us, you can't sue the fucking crown for Christ's sake. It's wrong. Absolutely fucking wrong. We should be doing these things on merit, not fucking lucky sperm club.
We should be doing them at all.
But other than that, I'm completely indifferent to them. If fucking Harry, or whatever his bloody name is, wants to marry some woman from America, whatever colour she is, I don't give a shit. I'm completely uninterested in the whole thing. I just wish they'd all fuck off and die or something useful. At least they've then used fucking fertiliser or dog food.
As we say, mind your own fucking business, and the world will be
Good God.
a better place. The fact that people care so much is
I just find it
beyond
staggering.
baffling.
I mean, I stepped down from that. So I was actually.
I tell you what is funny though.
What?
I tell you what is funny. If you was about to move on, you know,
I wasn't.
Piers Morgan.
Vaguely, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, Piers Morgan. He's.
I know he is. But
he's the slightly educated person for most dumb white racist men. He stormed off on Good Morning Britain this morning because someone said to him, "Hang on a minute, just because you don't like it, like, why are you throwing your toys out the pram?" And he went, "You know what? I can't take it anymore," and walked off set. It's fucking funny.
To me, it's only it's not even a step down. It's just on the same continuum, the same fucking spectrum as I was talking to Kerry Watt about this, the PR lady, this morning on our call, and I was saying to her about, you walk in the supermarket. There's on the left hand side as you go out where I live, the supermarket I go to. There's a fucking wall of magazines. And there are obviously a few special interest ones like yachting and fishing, that kind of shit. But for the most part, it's things like all these magazines dedicated to soap operas and society. So you've got Tatler and OK and Hello and all this fucking shit. And it isn't just on a spectrum, because on the high end, you've got OK and shit where you've got all these fucking celebrity weddings. At the low end, you've got the same kind of prudent curiosity of other people's lives, but it's all about soap operas. And you know, I shagged my brother's sister's fucking dog and that kind of thing, like Jeremy Kyle on paper. Well, I just despair. I despair that the human race, who is quite possibly apex intelligence in this universe, that's about all we can fucking aspire to. Wall after wall of fucking shitty magazines about irrelevant fucking people doing stuff that you really, why would you want to talk about it? Why would you want to do it, let alone talk about it? What the fuck is wrong with people?
To translate it to business, it's, again, you know, we're of apex intelligence, and people would rather invest thousands of minutes of their times into branding rather than learning about marketing and sales. It's just like, are you fucking dumb? You fucking dumb.
Yes, they are.
Why do you care about your color palette?
I think we'd do better if we sat here in high-vis vests and hard hats and pouted for the camera.
Yeah, more than likely. A few pretty pouts. You keep coming closer to the camera, John, because this is most of the people that pay attention to this podcast tend to listen, not watch. So
yeah, I'm just trying to drum up traffic for the fucking YouTube channel. People, oh, John's pouting. Let's go and have a look.
I don't want traffic on the YouTube channel though. Every time Holly says to me, "Oh, we got another subscriber," that's good. I couldn't give a fuck about the YouTube channel. I'm just putting it up there just in case. I'm not even putting it up there. I'm just trying to fill her time.
That's a horrible thing to say about my beloved daughter.
Well, it's National Women's Day. I should be a bit nicer.
It was yesterday. We can be horrible to him again today.
I'll tell you what, there was a Chelsea game on yesterday, Monday, for context, National Women's Day. And usually it's an all-male panel, and occasionally they'll have a female on the panel to discuss and review the game. But this time it was just an all-female panel. And I guarantee today, with tonight's football, it will just be back to the men. And it's like, you virtue signaling piece of crap. Like, I fucking hate it. Just does my head in. It just does my head in. If they're good, yeah, get them on there more often. But if they're not good, don't just give them a sympathy job. It does my head in. Really does my head in.
Well, yeah, I mean, there comes then that question of quotas, doesn't there? How many people of colour, how many women, how many disabled people you got in your business? I absolutely would refuse to hire on any. I refuse utterly to hire for diversity.
Yeah.
I hire only on merit. I don't give a shit what colour you are, what sex you are, what gender you identify with, or what you like to do with your arsehole and your cock, if you got a cock. I don't give a shit. None of my business. What I care about is your ability to do the job. You can't do that. No matter who you are, you shouldn't have it.
Yeah,
All right?
I
It's as
completely
simple
agree.
as that.
I tell you what, though, you are telling a slight, Porky. You send me profiles of funny people with various disabilities saying, "Can we hire this person, please, Connor?"
Well, yeah, but not because he was disabled or because he was
No, I
a
know.
It was just the quirks he had.
I know,
He
and I'm saying it more as a joke. I'm saying
I
it
know you
more
are,
as a
man.
joke.
It'd be fucking perfect for us. And it was his sense of humour as well.
Well, we've got more. We don't have a quote unquote normal person on the team in any way, shape, or form. I don't think. We've got you, mentally retarded. We've got me, physically retarded. And then we've got Holly, who's both.
And a woman.
That's what I meant by physically retarded.
Yeah. And mentally. We got the fucking sandwich maker. I mean, this COVID thing, right, has really fucking played havoc with our business. Because we were employing effectively a beer fetching sandwich maker, and she can't do it because we can't get close physically, you know? We're in different things.
It's baffling.
When we get to Stansted or wherever it is we do our event, she's going to have to fucking earn her keep, you know, going up to the bar, fetching sandwiches, fetching food, fetching drink. You know, are you listening, Holly?
Do we trust her with the kitty? Do we trust her with the kitty?
I should probably fucking go off and spend it on makeup or something.
Exactly, and she's a woman, so we pay her less than her male counterparts that work for us. So she might be tempted to steal from us because, you know, women don't deserve the same wage as men.
There'll be people sitting out there and I think they mean this. They're horrible people.
We don't.
And we are, and we do.
And they'd be absolutely right.
They'd be absolutely fucking.
Oh god.
So anyway,
to be honest, John, this whole preamble that's been going on for like 15 minutes now is just an excellent example of leading with your personality and your marketing.
What we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's personality marketing.
Personality marketing. You know, the personality marketing we talked about it yesterday. It's so important. It's basically got 4 separate components to it. We'll talk about 3 today, and there's another one which is completely separate, which deserves a fucking podcast all of its own. Perhaps do that tomorrow. But the first 3 are absolutely your personality. And the reasons for putting your personality in the marketing, we talked about ad nauseum yesterday. People get to know you, they get to like you, they get to trust you, they've got similar values, they're drawn to you, the communication is easy because you share a common language, all that kind of fucking shit. Like, it's a fucking done deal. I remember once working with a guy in the States, dentist, nice bloke, paid his bills, paid well, bought into the marketing side of things, but I did a couple of bits of work for him. And then I finished one day and I just thought, I just don't do this anymore. And the reason was, he was just boring. I thought, I don't dislike him, but I'm not enjoying the work because you're boring, mate. So I just said to him, this ain't working for me. And I said, you know, we finished on good terms, but I just said, well, don't want to do anymore. It's not working for me. It's not my kind of thing. And that was really as close to not liking him, I suppose, as it gets. But it just wasn't really me, you know. I just didn't enjoy it. And so it is important. But the second thing is authority. You know, people, we've said it before, people are walking around with an umbilical cord in the hand, looking for somewhere to plug it in. And one of the reasons freelancers, not so much, it's like e-commerce is probably a little bit of a different thing. It's not completely different, but you know, when we're talking about the trades, we're talking about, you know, there's a relationship. You're going in to do something in someone's house. You're going to solve a problem. But it's the same with freelancers as well. I mean, there's a lot of relationship going on there. Unless you're dealing with some website like 99 Designs like we've been doing, or freelancer.com, for the most part, you know there's a person behind the fucking facade. And you get to know this person, at least to some extent. And if they are just a faceless person to whom you give money and you get something in return, and there's no interaction there, they have no authority, that's when they have to compete on price. And that is the kind of problem with websites like freelancer.com. The guys on that side of the other side of the fence, there were service providers. I don't know if you've ever used Freelancer, but you look down, you know, you put a job out there and you get a load of responses back, and they all compete on price nearly. And the one or two who do not are more expensive. They're the ones who stand out. And they're the ones I always used to focus on because, I've got a good idea. A good example was the plugin I want to develop to work with Taxamo. It's going back a few years now, 2015. I knew that you couldn't develop it for $50. There's just no way. So when people were charging me more, I was much more interested in what they had to say because it was a more realistic amount.
Yeah.
So they had authority. I knew with that kind of fee, they could take their time in talking to me. They could speak a more authoritative language. They could convince me, or at least put my mind at rest. They know how to do the job. You just say, "Yeah, I can do it 50 quid." No, that's not how it works. I'm not interested in having it cheap. This thing is going to be fundamental to my business. This is something which deals with tax. It's got to be fucking right. Like really, yes, it's got to be fucking right. Otherwise, I get a fucking prison or something. So you need to have, if you want to be charging the big bucks, you need authority. You need people to look at you and see you as the trusted advisor, not the hired help. If you're the hired help, you are dispensable, you are interchangeable, you are a price seller. And we all know people, copywriters on LinkedIn, someone will put up a thing saying, we're looking for a copywriter to do some work for us or for a client. And all these fucking copywriters jump in like the hired help. Oh, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. Please contact me, please, 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 please. They're all too eager. The people with more authority say, well,
that's it with...
I ain't too sure about this. You see it with what?
Boiler installers in Facebook groups as well. Oh, join my plan. When people, the boiler's broken down. Can anyone recommend anything? Oh yeah, I'm on this plan for 12 quid. He's great. Oh, well, my plan's 11 quid. Well, my best selling plan's 18, but I do have one for 9. It happens a lot in local Facebook groups as well, especially with tradesmen.
Yeah, because people just don't know any different. I think one of the best examples is the handyman we work with sometimes. He comes in, he charges €20 an hour. If he'd charged me 100 an hour, I still paid it.
Mm-hmm.
He could charge me, and probably others too, 5 times what he's charging now. And okay, not everyone will buy at that price, but you can bet your life he'll get more than 1/5 of his existing work. So he'd be earning more money. Kev, our accountant, he charges 10 times the going rate for his accountancy fees. He's slashed his client numbers from over 400 to under 100. So he's making more money than he ever has done before. And he's working far less hard with better people. Yeah. And he can do that because he's got authority. He basically, he is that thing they can plug their umbilical cord into. Same as we are. People come to us, we don't just give them a fucking trades university curriculum with things to do, which is all probably fairly superficial stuff. We give them a deep understanding of what they need to do, and we hold their fucking hand all the way through it. And the way to get authority, if anyone's wondering how to do this, by the way, the way to get authority in the market is to do the one thing that I've done, and I recommend to all our clients, and it was almost mandatory in Elite, because what happened was people would join, and you'd be the odd one out who hadn't done it, so you don't do it. And that is to write a book. It was almost mandatory. You wrote a book, and if you didn't, because there's no good reason not to. And it doesn't have to be, mine was quite a big, thick one. The book was quite large too. But mine was like 360 pages.
Oh, man wrote a book about fucking claiming money back from insurance.
No, I made
companies.
Him do it.
Yeah,
I made him do it. 364 pages. And he managed
to
do it.
Pretty sure he paid a ghostwriter, but I never told you.
I can't remember now.
No, he did write it. No, he did write it.
360 pages. Now, half of this, so 106, 170 pages would be fine. And if you imagine you're an electrician, you're a decorator, you're a groundsman, it doesn't matter what you are. If you've got a book, and when people want to refer you business, and instead of giving them a business card or say, speak to my mate Pete, he's dead cheap, just say, oh look, I've got a book. This Pete wrote this. It's about roofing and how to get a decent roof and what you might need and what you might not need. Well, you sell the book. The whole game changes. You market the book markets you, and you're an authority. I mean, I've been to places. I'm well aware what people think when they see me. I mean, I'm actually quite smartly dressed today compared to what I normally am. But we've been to B&Bs and
It
things.
says
and
volumes,
see me
John. It says volumes that you have just said you're quite smartly dressed today. And I urge, this is the one time I would tell people to go to YouTube and just laugh. I
said comparatively, or I meant comparatively. I usually dress a lot worse than this. That's all I meant.
I know, but it's just fucking funny.
We've been to B&Bs and stuff, and we've rolled up in this fucking expensive Land Rover. I get out of there, look at me, and think, fucking, he's obviously some drug dealer or something, or a criminal. And then in conversation, usually with Sarah, because I don't want to talk to them, well, Sarah will say, well, John's written a book. What do you do? Well, he's written a book, and they'll give him a copy of the book because I could quite easily take on a B&B as a client or a hotel, just as anything else. There's no difference. And when they realise that I've written a book and that's actually me, and then they look at me and then look at the book, and the two things don't match, and they can't believe it. It really just people's heads in when they realise, shit, this person's an author. Well, anyone can be an author. It's in vanity publishing these days. It's not now. What used to be called vanity publishing is now just independent publishing. Anyone can do it. There's print on demand. It creates space on Amazon. There's Kindle. But even if you go to someone like Bill Goss, the printer we work with, it's not expensive. This book, big thick one, cost me £3.85 to have printed and delivered to my house in batches of 500. That's all. So
it's not much. Not much.
I've seen business cards cost more than £3 or £4. The black glossy ones with the gold embossed on it. They're about £5 each. How can a business card with your name and contact details on it, some pithy fucking logo, and maybe a comment or two, driving it forward or something fucking meaningless like that? How does that compare to a book? Books don't get thrown away. They might get ignored or even given away. They don't get thrown away. They sit on desks and eventually get read, or they get passed around. If one person,
people don't throw away books.
Almost never. It's sacrilege, isn't it? Some might do sometimes. So easy in writing a book is easy. And in fact, in our inner circle, in foundations, we've actually got trainings on how to write a fucking book.
Several.
Yeah, several. And it's even in one of the newsletters, and it's step by step. And there are 3 or 4 ways to do it. You can do it like I do if you're a writer, and that's just sit down and write it. That's what I do. But if you're not a writer, that's not your bag. There are loads of different strategies for writing a book, or tactics, I should say, for writing a book. And even to the extent of paying someone else to do it. I remember once one of our girls in the elite, she owned a hairdressing salon, and she wasn't a hairdresser herself, and she just got her business partner, Terry, who's gay. She just took 100 of their daily emails, 101 of them, beg your pardon, topped it and tailed it. Every 10th one, she put a hairdressing tip in, and she called it something like 101 Confessions of a Gay Hairdresser. That was the book, and that was brilliant because what better introduction is there to your business? And if you want, if moving on to the third thing, which is celebrity, I meant believability, we'll talk about tomorrow. Celebrity. What better way to get into the media than with a book? How many decorators in your local area have written a book? How many electricians or plumbers or roofers or flooring people or grounds workers, or brickies, carpenters, kitchen fitters, bathroom fitters, bedroom fitters, lawn rollers? How many of those people have written a book? And the thing is, the press are crying out for content to fill pages, because it's not a newspaper. It's not like an aeroplane. You can't send it to print with a big empty space in it. They want content. No, they don't want blatant advertising unless you're paying for it, but they want content. Well, what better local story than Fred the fucking plumber's just published a book? Because that's a big deal. That's how to get believe it. Celebrity, personality, authority, and celebrity. And the fourth one, of course, is believability. We've got those two the long way around. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. I can't be asked about it.
No, definitely not. And if you're thinking, oh, why the fuck would I write a book for this? Why the fuck would I write a book for that? Get your head out your ass, sit down for 5 minutes and have a think why. It'd be fucking useful, and just sit there and brainstorm some titles, because it helps with customer retention, customer attraction. As John said, all you got to do is give away or sell the book, and then the book sells you. People are, and as John said, being a celebrity helps as well. And again, getting into the media with a book makes you a local celebrity. I think there is a book called 5 Mile Celebrity. Back to the hairdressing example, why, if you can't see why a book called 101 Confessions of a Gay Hairdresser being handed out to every woman in the area that fits their avatar, if you can't see how that wouldn't boost business, you're a buffoon. Because they'll read it, they'll be like, this guy's fucking brilliant, he's hilarious, I can't wait to sit in the chair for 3 hours, as it often does for women, and chat to this guy about these stories and whatnot.
Yeah, well, the mistakes people, the biggest mistake people make, not only when they're writing a book, but when they're conceiving it and just thinking about it, is they think they've got to write a book all about the thing. And they're kind of essentially thinking it's got to be a textbook. But it's not. I mean, you say we had a client, if you think about it, if you remember, kitchen fitter. And we tried to get him to write the book and he never did, I don't think.
That would have been a game changer.
Yeah, and imagine you are that kitchen fitter or a bedroom or a bathroom fitter, anything like that, Well, what do people want to know? Well, not so much how do you fit a bathroom, it's not a textbook. But how about how to avoid being ripped off by a plumber? Maybe you've got 7 different things you can do, 7 different ways to select a plumber or a bathroom fitter. And you just talk about it in an amusing way. And maybe for each one, tell an amusing story of how people have got it wrong. Case studies, I guess you call them anti-case studies, things that have horror stories, things that have gone wrong. So it's not fucking difficult. Well, I mean, a great example of the genre, I suppose, is, do you remember, perhaps it's a bit before your time, remember James Herriot, the vet stories?
The vet?
James Herriot, like all creatures great and small, that kind of thing. A bit before your time.
Oh,
James Herriot, that was a pseudonym.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Well, imagine if you were a vet and you wrote a book like that, Funny Stories from the Surgery. It's nothing to do with being a vet, really. It's just funny stories. It's just a way to garner attention, to get people's liking, to show authority, because obviously you put something in there about, your job. But really, it's about getting an engaged audience, a properly engaged audience. I'm talking about LinkedIn engagement type stuff. A properly engaged audience who will resonate with your message. It's a bit of celebrity in there if you can get in the media, and it's certainly showing authority, and it allows you to position yourself as being something different.
Yeah. The kitchen example almost annoys me that he never did that. It's so simple. How to make sure you don't get ripped off is one. 7 signs you need a new kitchen is another. 10 unusual things you need to consider before getting a new kitchen or before choosing a new kitchen. In fact, you could write fucking all 3 of those books, because they fit. They'll fit for people at different stages along that buying decision.
Yeah, or you could even how to choose a new kitchen. It just baffles me. That's really pretty much it. I mean, the 4 things, 4 essential ingredients: personality, authority, celebrity, and believability, the last of which we'll talk about tomorrow. To become the authority, write your book, get published. It's cheap, quick, cheap, and easy. And if you don't want to go down the fucking route of printing it on paper, which is short-sighted, but if you didn't, get it done on Kindle. It's free.
You can give it away for free.
If you want to be a celebrity, get in the media. That's not hard either.
All you need is 1 copy. Get it onto Kindle. Get on the local media with your 1 copy of the book. That's all you need. That's all you need. And as John said, you'd be surprised how much of a big deal it is if a plumber writes a fucking book.
And it's essentially your business card. But the really important thing, it's kind of a level above that, is the way it changes the game of your marketing, because you can put your entire marketing story in your book. And you should. It's essentially a long copy sales letter, really. It's showing you, it's showing you all this stuff about the trust, the liking, and the awareness. It shows you can do your job, your competence, all those things if you write it properly. So the book markets you. And the people who will read the book are invested in what they're doing because they're putting time into it. They're thoughtful. They're generally better educated. Because they're more invested in what they're doing, they'll generally spend more with you. Research has shown that the more time people spend with your marketing stuff, the more they will spend on the back end. That's just a general rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Book readers are ideal clients. I mean, my own example of me with Dan Kennedy, I came to Dan Kennedy with a book. It was No BS Sales Success. And it went from me reading a book to me buying the rest of his No BS books. And back then there weren't that many of them. I'll go back 15 more years. I'm joining his inner circle, as it was at the time, not the insider circle, going to Chicago again the next year, buying a load of products, going to other events, doing a day with Dan, a 5-figure sum, and then running a fucking event with him.
Paying him for the pleasure.
I did pay him up front, yeah, but I mean, I made so much on the event that there was a profit there for me as well.
No, of course.
So
it was like,
I have paid. I mean, his fee was guaranteed, I guess is what I'm saying. So if I'd made not enough, I wouldn't have got any money out of it.
That was the point I was trying to make.
But point being, I've probably been worth 75k to Dan Kennedy over the years, more maybe, all from a book. Well, when you read Book the Business by Adam Whitty and Dan Kennedy, he talks about why book buyers are such great clients then. And I am one of them. This is not fucking black magic or voodoo or secret. It's not this fucking latest fad. This is really strategic stuff.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it and everybody should, and most don't, unfortunately.
And that's even more reason why you should.
Oh yeah, and get it. And for the third thing, how using your book, which gives you authority, but also using it to get you celebrity status, is a no-brainer. Because who else has written a book in your niche?
Yeah, there is a book called 5 Mile Celebrity, isn't there? I didn't make that up.
I've got no idea.
I need to do a Facebook training on that. I used to do that with all my clients that worked in local areas. 5 Mile Celebrity. No, it's not a book. I must have come up with that then.
Okay, there's your book you can write. Instead of fucking sleeping in.
You fucking funny cunt. You got a 1 minute hate?
No, not today.
You fucking slacker. Oh,
yeah, I've got 1 minute hate. What are we going to do? 1 minute hate. Give me a fucking 1 minute timer.
Are you doing it?
Yeah, I fucking am.
I love it.
This is about you.
Good. I love it. I just know how to push your buttons. It's great. I am the puppet master. Are you ready?
I'm fucking well ready.
Steady?
Yes.
Go.
All right, 1 minute fucking hate. People who say one thing and do a fucking another. I've spoken to people over the years who say, I would do anything to change my business to get it back on track. And to succeed. Well, here's what it's going to take. It's going to take this kind of work, this kind of time frame, and it's going to cost you this much money. What do? Oh, perhaps I see how it goes then. Or even better, let's smash this biz. That's the thing I fucking hate. And I'm talking about you, mate. I'm talking about you fucking cunt. No, seriously. People who say, well, they want one thing. They say they'll do anything to change. They want to change, but they're not prepared to change. Here's the thing. If you want change, and I don't mean just you, I mean everybody listen to this. If you want change, change begins with you. Otherwise, it's like sitting in front of a stove and saying, I will give you some wood and some fire when you give me some heat out. Not how it fucking works. It's all on you.
I like it. I'm glad me having arthritis and not getting to sleep until like 4 a.m. in the morning and go sleeping through my alarms has actually inspired a 1 minute hate. There's good comes from everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a very good stoic lesson there for everyone.
Yes, it is. And on that
It's a
note,
reframe, isn't it?
it is classic reframe. That's why we also say nothing bad ever happens to a marketer, more specifically, an email marketer.
Absolutely. All righty.
So, what should people do?
Well, if you want to make more money with less work, less hassle, and fewer headaches by attracting better clients, selling them at higher fees, and having all fit into your business through a pipeline which is hands off on autopilot running in the background, I suggest you go to ottpodcast.co.uk and get hold of our great resources and listen to the other 40 odd episodes of this podcast. In the meantime, stay inside, wash your hands, fucking wake up with the alarm, you cunt. Do not shit on your fingers. Ta-da.